Luther was a humble watch mechanic who lived a peaceful life with his kind-hearted wife, Mercy. His small workshop was filled with the rhythmic ticking of clocks, dusty gears, and tools worn from years of delicate work. One misty evening, as the streetlights flickered and fog rolled through the lanes, a tall, mysterious man entered Luther's shop. He wore a long coat, a tilted hat, and never met Luther's eyes. Without a word, he placed a strange, heavy clock on the counter. The man handed Luther a small bag of old gold coins, gave only one instruction: fix the clock within 24 hours, but never open it fully or stop its ticking. Then he disappeared into the fog as silently as he came. Curious, Luther examined the clock. Its gears were unlike anything he had seen. Smooth black metal that shimmered like water and moved with eerie precision. That night, as Luther adjusted a small lever inside the clock, it gave off a sudden pulse. For a moment, everything flickered. Lights dimmed, tools shook, and a strange silence followed. When he blinked again, it was morning. To his surprise, the same exact morning. Birds chirped as usual, but every detail was identical. Mercy brought him tea with the same words as the day before. At first, he thought it was déjà vu, but as the hours passed, the repetition became undeniable. The town's clock tower was frozen at 9:13 a.m. Conversations repeated themselves. Even if he smashed a cup the next day, it was whole again. Every morning he awoke in the same bed, in the same moment, and always the strange clock sat untouched on his workbench. Desperate, Luther tried everything. He left town, but each road curved back to his workshop. He tried destroying the clock. It returned the next day, pristine. He hid it under floorboards. It reappeared on the counter. Mercy never remembered anything he said from previous loops. Time itself had locked him in a repeating cage, and the key was ticking backward right in front of him. But one loop changed everything. As he tried again to examine the inner gears, a folded newspaper clipping fell out from inside the clock. It was yellowed and old, dated 1891. The headline read, "Watchmaker found dead in looping time." Beneath it was a photo of a man who looked exactly like Luther. Horrified, he stared at the image, realizing this had happened before. He wasn't just stuck in a loop. He was repeating the same life as another version of himself from over a century ago. Something darker was at work. Against all warnings, he unscrewed the back plate of the clock fully. Inside, he saw something impossible, a miniature replica of his own shop, and within it, a tiny version of himself, moving exactly as he did. The clock was not just tracking time, it was mirroring it, controlling it. It was alive in some way. As the final screw fell away, the clock gave off a low chime. The room shook. Mercy screamed, but her voice warped and faded. She disappeared into thin air, like a memory being erased. Luther looked down. His hands were aging rapidly. Wrinkles spread like cracks, his body weakening by the second. The clock struck 9:13 exactly, and time folded inward. In an instant, he was back in his bed again. The same birds chirped. The same tea appeared. But something was wrong. His workshop was slightly different. New clocks, a new calendar. The newspaper on the doorstep was dated 2025. He hadn't reset the loop. He had jumped forward, maybe even into someone else's version of himself. As he walked into the shop, a strong, unfamiliar figure stood by the counter, a muscular man with a crooked grin. The man handed him the same strange clock. "Fix it," he said coldly, without emotion. 24 hours. Do not open it. Do not stop it." The door shut behind him before Luther could speak, and the ticking began again. But now it was louder, and it was counting down.